Another episode of We Ear Hustling, baby. I am Nubi, the ear hustler. Tonight's guest is the amazing Spring, the artist, out of Austin, Texas. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You are welcome. Look, like
So,
I said before, whenever you can get me on
yeah,
the show.
I thank you so much for your patience. Like I said, things have been a little crazy traveling, just a little bit of everything, but this is going to be worth it. I'm going to make sure that it's worth it. So I'm going to jump right on in. Talk to me a little bit about growing up in Texas, and if you are originally from Austin or are you from a different part of Texas?
Okay. Yeah, so I grew up in both Houston and Dallas. First half of my life was Houston, second half was Dallas, and then when I flew the coop, I came to Austin. So yeah.
And which do you like more?
Definitely Austin. Austin is starting to grow on me, dare I say. um the music here is great. The environment here is great. So
Mm.
good for
I've
me.
never been. I definitely want to make it out there one of these days. And Texas and Tennessee, actually, I want to get to, actually, hopefully before the year is out. So
Uh-huh.
if I come out there, we're going to link up for sure.
Come on. Come on.
So I was listening to your music, and one of the things you said in your bio is that if you think about putting Minnie Riperton and or if Minnie Riperton and India Ari had a baby, you are the result of that.
Yeah.
I found that to be really interesting because as I listen to your music, there are so many different sounds that make me think of those artists amongst a whole bunch of artists,
Mhm.
different sounds, and we're going to get into that. But at first, I want to talk a little bit about how you began your journey in music.
Okay. Yeah, so music for me, it's been a lifetime, I feel like. I started fairly early. Both my parents are music heads. My mom was like 90s, 80s R&B. My dad, birth of hip hop, and then he loved all types of hip hop from then on. And fun fact, my dad is also a pastor too. So don't let nobody tell you that pastors don't listen to worldly music, because they do. um, yeah, and then after I think I moved to Dallas, I became a little bit more cultured, and I started to kind of get into like extracurricular activities, drama, theater. Once I hit high school, I'm still dealing with like stage fright and things like that. Don't understand how I was able to do drama and there was no stage fright, but as soon as I sang, immediate anxiety. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of where everything started for me, my love for music. And then it grew. My first love, I like to say, is poetry. And that's where like songwriting came into play. So
And I can tell by listening to the lyrics of some of your songs, they are very creative and it's I don't want to say out of this world, but your line of thought is broad, where a lot of people kind of stick to, especially when it comes to songwriting, the atypical. I fell in love, and then he bought me roses,
mm-hmm.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so like you're talking about cosmic stuff, you're talking about God, you're talking about all these different things. And interestingly enough, just mentioning that your dad is a pastor,
Mm-hmm.
is interesting. And I know there was a time, I can't remember what it was, but we had talked about doing a Saturday, and you also said that's during Sabbath. So I know,
Mm-hmm.
you are obviously have a faith that you believe in strongly, and you're able to contribute to this um,
Yes.
secular world of music, and still keep that balance. And you hear it in your songs, which I really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate. I'm going to get into that. But one of the first songs that you introduced everyone to was Sunday, and that came out in 2022. I absolutely love that song. When I first heard that song, I immediately put it into my playlist. Um, one of those one of those things that it's one of those things where you hear it, you're like, ooh, that's how I felt. And I think that others will feel it too. And I'm actually thinking about putting a little collage together, if you will, of your music, because I feel like you're not really heard. Um,
Mm,
and I really, really want you to be. I actually put one of your songs in my note on Instagram, because
thank you.
people to listen. I mean, you know, I'm the ear hustler, right? I got to make sure
Mhm.
I deliver, and
Yeah.
and I think that my ear is pretty daggone good. And when I
Hmm.
to you, I was like, wait a minute.
It
How
is.
come you ain't like up on somebody's like voice, or you know, we're gonna get into that in a minute.
Okay.
But on the flip side of that,
Hmm.
you have a job as a caseworker by day,
Hmm.
and you do this music stuff, I'm assuming, when you have time.
Hmm.
How do you make time for this music?
Um, I like to say music makes time for me because I'm never not in the mood to make music. It's really weird. I know some people like struggle and they might have like writer's block, but I like to tell everyone that like that listens that music is my therapy. So when I can't ring up my therapist, I'm immediately going to go write. Um, Having a work life balance is extremely hard, especially as a person who has a heart of service. You know, you want to serve on a Saturday. You want to do all these extra things, and I'm a really big advocate for self care now, and my music is my self care. So I'm like, look, I'm gonna make time. Yeah.
I love that. And I think that's important. I think, you know, I know you're a little younger than I am, but the fact that you understand that most adults can't really you know, get their head around how to figure out how to balance things, and that's not a good or a bad thing. It's just it is what it is. So I
Hmm.
appreciate that the fact that you're able to at least make the time to do that self-care and then also make this amazing music. So when I started hearing and listening to your songs, and I want to get back into Sunday really quick, the first person that came to my mind was Tweet.
Okay.
And the reason
It's an honor.
that it's amazing, I think you have something a little different to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where in that I think your voice is stronger when it comes to the falsetto soprano line. She also has a really strong voice, but it's not that same level of sound. Something that you bring to the song is that reminded me of Tweet, or you know, Tweet reminded me of you, was the layers in the song
Mm-hmm.
Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that song. One of the lines is, "You take me to church, singing like it's the first Sunday of the month, taking up space on my pew, and I'm not complaining." Talk to me about that.
So at the time, your girl was head over heels, and I was also struggling with my faith, and I felt like the person was kind of helping me, like bringing me a little bit closer to my faith, and I wanted to pay both homage to my God and like my person, and I just went in my closet and I couldn't really I found a beat and I couldn't really like think of any words, and as soon as I heard the beat it was like, you take me to church. Like it just came out of nowhere. That happens a lot with me when it comes to writing. It comes out of nowhere.
I love it. I mean, you know, take me to church, and in the context with which you wrote it,
Mm-hmm.
it's really beautiful, and it drew me in because I was like, okay, you know, it sounds like she's in love with someone, but
Mm-hmm.
she's also tying in her faith.
Mm-hmm.
Where does this story end? You know? That's it. That's it. Okay. All right, we're gonna leave it right there. But I love the concept of it. You weren't afraid to combine those two.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of brings me into No Evil,
Mm-hmm.
which is a whole different side, but
Yeah.
still it's to me it still touches in and on the strength of you, and knowing and learning about who you are and what you're willing to tolerate and not tolerate, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So talk about No Evil. that song reminds me of a Jhene Aiko song. Um,
Okay. I've
and
gotten that before too.
I hear all these different things, and by
Mhm.
no means, and I try not
Oh,
to do this often.
I'm not offended.
Yeah, but you know what, people think, oh, it's my sound and I'm so and so, and I get that. But I think what happens is when you
Mhm.
remind us, is when you or any other artist reminds of us another artist that they enjoy or we enjoy,
Mhm.
help to say, damn, you sound like, or this makes me feel, or those sort of things.
Yeah.
It helps tie in the artist. But here's the thing, you sound like a bunch of different people.
Mhm.
And that's dope. To dope. Because
I
now,
really. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, you create your own sound through that.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
tell me
I
about.
pull from a lot of influences, to be completely honest, and so I can't really say exactly like where my sound comes from.
It's a
It's just
mishmash.
a collage, a mix.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's really strong. That's the other
Mhm.
thing. Like, your voice is a lot stronger than a lot of the artists that I'm talking about in my mind, um, because the notes that I'm hearing, like I said, I mean, there's some beautiful notes that some folks can hold, but it's not a strong, beautiful note,
Mhm.
and that's the difference. You know what I mean? And I was listening to Janet Jackson earlier, who's known for her falsetto, right? But
Yeah.
here's the thing, she's not. Let me say this: Janet has been a pop singer her
Mhm.
entire career.
Mhm.
There's nothing that is deep down soul. Oh, she's singing. It's not that, right?
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's this beautiful tone and hush and falsetto. And then, of course, we have Rhythm Nation on, but there's still something different again about the way you bring in that hush and that falsetto. It's a lot stronger. So, Janet, I love you, but I'm just saying, I call it as I see it.
Thank you.
Um, so one of the things that you talk about in No Evil is not caring to share the lessons that you've learned, and basically hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, and fuck you, hey, middle finger up.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now we're talking about a woman of faith, and now we
Mhm.
talk about fuck you. Let's talk about it. I, I
Look,
value that.
because sometimes you have to. Jesus was flipping tables, and I know an nephew was in his brain at some point, but I, that song really came from a place of hearing a lot of doubt about the relationship I was in at the time, and I was just like, like we're just gonna close the doors on that, and I saw like a monkey do the like little see no evil thing, and I was like, that fits with what I'm going through right now. Let's write a song about let's write a song about it, And that's literally where it came from. I didn't really like write kind of poppy songs before No Evil. It was mostly just like R&B, neo soul, and No Evil was kind of like an eye opener. Like, oh, I can do this. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, middle finger in the air. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's an anthem. That's an anthem.
Literally.
And
Literally.
when I listen to it, as you know, I'm a creator and I'm a content creator in terms of music. And when I think about things that I post, like, that's a background song that I would love to have, you know.
Use it.
Yeah, I'm
Use
on it. There's a
it.
choice I'm gonna be like, reaching my bag with, because I mean, I wrote down quite a few songs and I can't get to every single song, but
No,
the way
that's okay.
it sounds to me, I'm
Mhm.
like, are you on TikTok?
I am not. I need to get on it. Everyone is like, you need to get on the TikTok train.
Let me tell you,
I, oh, go ahead.
these songs, especially that one,
Mm-hmm.
stuff that goes crazy, right? Because so many people can relate to the middle finger, like, yo, mind your
Mm-hmm.
business, I'm doing me.
Right.
That's it. Get on TikTok, girl. Get on TikTok.
I
Are
will.
you on,
Oh, go ahead.
are you on YouTube?
Yes, but like not active. I literally only just post my music on YouTube.
And that's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
get all that music up there, because as you upload your stuff to YouTube, right there, you can create the snippets that people can use on TikTok.
Got you. I've been seeing the YouTube shorts too. And I was like,
But even if it wasn't a YouTube short, if it
mhm,
was a full length video, what you
mhm.
could do is you could go in and say, okay, I want a minute of this song to be available on these different platforms. Or 30.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Noted.
Um,
Noted. I didn't know that. I was trying to stay away from TikTok because I have ADHD and I just feel like TikTok just would not be good for
well,
me.
and you don't, you know what? Even if you don't do TikTok and you use your Instagram, but you can still again tie in the YouTube so that your songs can be used on Instagram over and over again for different templates and things of that nature. So don't even worry about TikTok. Saying going
Yeah.
ahead with YouTube, look at it when you're getting ready to upload. I don't care if it's just
Mhm.
regular music or video, you have that option. And I want to say it's on the lower left bottom of the screen as you're starting to fill out your information on YouTube for the clip.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you
Come
for the
on
pro tip.
Yeah,
Look, I
we
need it.
gonna
I need it all.
work. Listen, I feel like you're too talented. Like I said, the first thing I think in my head is like, why is she not here or there? Or and it's none of my business. It's a good thing that I'm thinking that. I'm like, okay, I want her to be in these different places. I got to figure out what's going on here. So it's an ode to what you're doing in your craftsmanship.
Thank you.
So now the other song I want to talk about, and this is off of an EP called Butterfly Tears. Cosmic Boy is the song.
Okay.
So one of the things that I've noticed about your music selection,
Mhm.
again, it's very worldly. It's kind of out of this world, but worldly. It's cultured. It's lo-fi. It's hi-fi. It's jazz. It's um, Caribbean sort of Spanish vibe. It's all of this stuff.
Mhm.
Talk to me about Cosmic Boy. Come fly with me. It's all come fly with me. It's all in the stars. Talk to me about that.
So Cosmic Boy is actually co-written with the band Mother's Favorite Child. That is originally where I started. And at the time, Cosmic Boy was literally just like, oh, I don't even know if he wants me to say this, but it was just a rant. It was a rant. And he was like, see what you can do with this. And I took it apart and completely put it back together as a song. And he gave me kind of creative freedom when it came to choosing beats. And I went and found one and was like, this one. Like, this is the one. This is what we're going to do. And I like to, at the time, I was kind of helping him write songs. And he was just giving me like the okay to do whatever I wanted, which was great. It's great for a new songwriter and a new artist in the business because I was like, I don't know where else I could get this, to be completely honest. And um, Cosmic Boy definitely was more on the pop side for me.
Mhm.
And I didn't like Cosmic Boy at first. I
Really?
did not like Cosmic Boy at first. I wrote it. I wasn't even going to send it to him. And then I did. I sent the demo and he was just like, yeah, no, this is dope. We're going to do
Yeah.
it. I was like, all
Yeah.
right.
I love it because, and that's another thing about the songs, and you're smart because you've been releasing really singles because people aren't really buying albums as much as they used to, which is a really
Mhm.
smart move. But listening to everything is kind of like you not kind of like you have something for everybody if
Mhm.
they follow you on Spotify or Apple or whatever. There's something for everybody, and this fits in that category. Okay, this is a little pop, but it's kind of like different, and I could hear it, maybe being used in a TV show or a soundtrack of some sort. And there's a
Mhm.
couple of like that on here that made me think. One made me think about mermaids. Dive, deep dive. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's one of the songs I want to get into. But kudos
Mhm.
to you breaking that song down and putting it back together because I
Look,
enjoy
look, it was fun. It was fun. The writing process is always fun for me.
that. Good. I love it. I got to get with you on some songwriting too.
Look.
So the next song I want to talk about, and this kind of reminds me of the lo-fi that I was talking about, is That's Why.
Ooh.
Um, the jazzy feeling, the pitch. I don't know what that instrument. All of it just brought me to a place of peace. Actually, it was very calming. Talk to me about that's why.
Once again, I was inspired by love. I'm a big romance head, and I wanted to kind of create a song that showed adoration in like a different way. Like everyone writes love songs, but I wanted my person to know like this is why. I'm legitimately telling you this is why. And I wanted a jazz approach in all honesty, and I didn't really know how to go about it because I'm new. And I just had like, how do I put it? I listened to the beat for That's Why, I kid you not, probably for like 3 days straight before I even wrote anything to it. And finally, lyrics came. I don't even know how to really explain that, to be completely honest. It's going to be a constant theme. I don't know where lyrics come from, they just come. But lyrics came to me finally, and yeah, once I went back and like listened to the song and read the lyrics, I was like, wow. Hey, this is dope. No, it was a really fun recording. Stressful, but fun.
Yes, yes. I can understand. I used to sing. I stopped singing many years ago. There is a stressful side to it, but I think as long as the enjoyment of making it is stronger, then everything kind of balances out.
Oh yeah, it definitely does.
So now here's my mermaid song, Deep Dive. The first of all, let me back it up a little bit. Where are you getting your production from?
A lot of different producers on YouTube. I basically just go and search the beats, and when one speaks to me, I buy it. And then I take to BandLab, which is kind of like the only thing I know how to use right now, and record. I mix, and then I use Mixia, shout out to DistroKid, to master.
Hold on. So you're writing, recording, mixing. Are you mastering too?
I use like third party
Okay.
app for that.
Like, you're doing all of that by yourself. Look at you. I love it.
Thank you.
Love that. I mean, I think, in this day and age of technology and being able to be self-sufficient, the self-sufficiency stops at, okay, I hear a beat and I can write to it and maybe sing to it. But I mean, you're really full on, hands on, which is so dope. I mean,
oh yeah.
and your sounds that really work well with your voice, which means you know your voice very well.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thing. Because what made me think about that was as I listened to the songs, I'm hearing, the different kind of keyboards, the different pianos, the guitars, like all these sounds. And I'm like, who's creating this stuff? Because you could tell there's different styles, but there's certain things that just remain in terms of the whole vibe of who Spring the artist is. And you've chosen very, very well things that, like I said, just really fit like a glove. So shout out to you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I like to when I'm like shopping for beats, whatever kind of gives me that like little thump in my heart, I'm like, this is the one. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I never know what I'm gonna do with it until I open it up in BandLab. And sometimes if the beat is like just too bare for me, I go in and add backings and create instruments with my mouth because I don't know how to play the instrument. I love it. So yeah. I pride myself on knowing how to create atmosphere for my voice to shine. So.
That's perfect. Atmosphere, perfect. Ambiance. Yes. I love that. that is I think what's missing in some of the music that's out today is that people just jump on things that don't fit.
Mm-hmm.
And just because it's the bandwagon thing to do, and I'm just like, boo.
Tomato, tomato.
Come on, you know.
Yeah.
Um Now something I did notice, and I prefer to listen to Spotify. It says DK Records.
I think that's DistroKid. That's
Okay.
DistroKid. Yeah.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
like, is that a record? Okay, got it. That makes absolute sense now.
Yes.
So deep dive, the
Mm.
keyboards, the drama of that song. Now that's a song that I could see. I don't know if you're old enough to know Sleepless in Seattle or a lot of these. Think of a romantic movie.
Mm-hmm.
I could just hear the, it's like, and I said, I call it the mermaids looking for that sailor to
Yeah.
pull in into the ocean. Like that is something, in my personal opinion, that you should look to shop around to music directors. Just look up on Google music directors or music supervisors, I should say, for movies. Girl is
Mm-hmm.
bitten, because that song to me is definitely a soundtrack song.
Yeah. Yes. So the crazy thing is, um, when I first heard the beat for Deep Dive, I was already in my feelings, and of course, and the beat made me cry, just without any lyrics, nothing. It kind of felt like worship, and I wanted to create something that felt like that worship to me. And at the time, getting it all out on paper was what I needed to do, and it honestly turned out so amazing. So amazing. I love Deep Dive. That's literally one of my favorite lyrically and vocally tracks that I've done.
Yeah, that song is. I mean, because you can take the lyrics and you can apply it to many
Mm-hmm.
different. Right, we're deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
we're searching internally. We're searching within our religion, our faith. We're
Yeah.
searching whatever in our relationships. Like this, that song is like, I don't care if you don't do anything, but you need to shoot a video for that one. And there's so many people out here that are so creative. If you bring them your idea for that song, I'm sure that song would be life changing. I'm sure it is already, but really on a whole nother level, life changing for you.
Mm-hmm.
And if it happens, this is recorded.
I'll be like, we said it first.
I'm telling you, it's just something about that just is so moving. I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, this has got to go somewhere fast. Somebody's got to hear this. Somebody got to pick it up. Somebody. So anyway, that's just me. But I just want to say, out of all the songs, that's one of my favorites that you have done. I want to say it might be the favorite. I'm torn between a couple of other songs that you got on here, so I'm gonna continue to go. And
Because I drop songs like every 2 minutes.
but I love it. I mean, you got to have music in the stash.
Mm-hmm.
You got your visuals with your AI artwork and all the other stuff, which is dope. I don't
Thank you.
necessarily subscribe to the AI stuff, but that's a whole nother conversation. But what you're doing in terms of, the covers for your singles and stuff, this is really dope. I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So holding reminds me of that knee-jerk reaction when you first meet somebody, and there's like that honeymoon period, and you have all this stuff in your head about where things are going to go.
Yep.
Talk to me about now. So you've gone through these phases, and to me you're telling stories through each of these songs, and
Mm-hmm.
the progression in life, right?
Yeah,
You're with
definitely.
somebody, you really love them. Other people aren't necessarily feeling them. Maybe you've gone through another phase now, and maybe you've met someone new. Talk to me about holding.
Holding was definitely, I wanted to, how do I put this in a nice way?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
in a nice way. I wanted to shed light on my own issue. I have a I have like attachment issues. And so sometimes I used to just have a death grip on people thinking that things would get better and they just wouldn't. And eventually you're like, girl, get it together. Like, let go. Holding on was literally me telling myself you were holding on way too tight and you needed to
Mm,
let go.
mm,
So, yeah.
mm. Yeah, and I think sometimes this is for men and women, right? We
Mm-hmm.
romanticize, we love the idea of love, um,
Yes.
and that feeling and that high that
Mm-hmm.
comes with, especially the very beginning of feeling somebody, and then you get into it, and you know you feel like you really love them, but there's signs that we're not. Girl, I know we done been there. I've been
Look, we got to talk off camera.
this, know, but and like you said, sometimes the grip may be a little stronger, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you see it for what it is and you're able to come out of that.
Yeah.
And holding made me feel like I've been here before.
Oh, yeah.
So I,
Yeah. That's what I want like my music to do. A lot of times my music is super personal to me, but I'm writing it so anybody else that just so happens to hear it, if they're going through it at that moment, it's something that they can like grasp onto and be like, "Ooh, I'm not the only one." Like I know for a fact I've had a couple of people be like, "Holden?" Like, "Yeah, I've been there." And I'm like, "Yep. Me
yeah,
too."
yeah,
Me
yeah.
too.
And a lot of these young folks that are out here who are experiencing love for the first time
Mm-hmm.
or infatuation, you know, and it's, you know, it's all these different things, and it's, and I find with creatives even more so, I think we
Mm-hmm.
to struggle with what's real and what's not,
Yes.
what we want things to be versus what they really are. So when
Mm-hmm.
I hear songs like this, there's so many things that come to mind: newness, revisiting, um, thinking retrospectively about things.
Mm-hmm.
This is stuff that I think moves people. So the way that you write for me is encouraging because I know that there's still that piece of artistry when it comes to music that exists.
Yeah. It's out there. We're
Yeah,
out here,
yeah.
just living our lives one experience at a time and making a song about
Mhm,
it.
mhm. And then we get into people pleasing.
Ooh, it's one of my favorites. It's my next favorite.
Talk to me about why your next favorite.
People please actually came out of a therapy session. My therapist had beat me over the head trying to get me to realize that even in the therapy session, I was trying to say what I thought would that she wanted to hear. I was trying to say what she wanted to hear. And she was just like, no, I'm not gonna accept that from you. And it made me go back and reflect on not even just romantic relationships, platonic friendships, work, parents, relationship with parents. I was just like, whew, we gotta write a song. We gotta write a song. And I wanted something that was D'Angelo inspired. And I've always wanted that D'Angelo inspired track. I was like, as an artist, I have to have it. He's one of my main inspirations. And when I found the track, I was like, yes, this is it. This is it. And I had been singing the melody around the house maybe like 2 days before. And as soon as I had the melody, as soon as I heard it, the chorus just like
Hey,
came rapid fire. And I was like, yes, lyrics next. Yeah.
yeah, I love it. And definitely you nailed it in terms of that D'Angelo feel. Um,
Thank
the words, the song, the meaning behind the song, you know, I kind of thought about shit damn motherfucker. I thought
you.
about,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just you're nailing it in terms of the feel that you're trying to get across. Definitely
Thank
nailing it.
you.
Uh, the piano and the keys, I mean, again, they're just spot on. And then the whole vibe just flows. Like I said, I think I need to put together a collage so I can present people, what it is, thing that I feel when I hear your music. Uh,
Mhm.
I want to share it with everybody. Anytime I meet an artist or I listen to an artist that I really enjoy, I get really hyped.
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, you ain't
I appreciate it.
and and I even jumped in, I think, on one of your lives, and just for the few minutes, that you were talking, you just seem like this really genuine person. And
Mhm.
when you just talked about the fact that, the whole people pleasing thing, the fact that, you need to work that out, the first person you need to, and I'm just saying this because I feel like a big sister, is
Mhm.
you please yourself first, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Now, in your situation, it's God, right?
Mhm.
And then you,
And then me. Yeah.
and so, because what happens is when you're pleasing yourself, then pleasing others in a natural way, like a significant other or a parent, comes naturally without having it to be forced,
Mhm.
or feeling like you just need to get along, because that's the worst feeling. It's like, I just need,
Mhm.
let me just, nah, I'm not doing that. And
Yeah.
I, many, many, many years ago, and it didn't last long. I'm a Leo, so we're kind of like aggressive. We know,
Capricorn.
yes,
I run at the first sight of danger.
yeah. We like, every, so it's a little different, but I still went through that.
Mhm.
You can also being a twin, and you're competing for attention. It's all these things that cause people to be people pleasers. But I'm glad that you are out of that realm
Oh
and have moved on. And now we're gonna talk about Move.
yeah.
I love it. That 70s vibe, if I ever heard. That is a song that I could hear coming into, how they have those videos where the girls are hanging out and they come into the joint or the lounge.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, hey, I love it.
Literally.
It is just a really perfect vibe lounge. Even if I was sitting at a runway fashion show, I could hear that song playing in the background.
Thank you.
That's so different from everything else. What tell me what inspired that?
Honestly, Beyonce. Renaissance, I'm prepping because we're going to see her in Houston in September. Whew. Yes. I've waited all my life. But Renaissance definitely influenced me, and seeing how she took influence from Donna Summer, people that like my mom introduced me to, I was like, I have to do this somehow in my own way. Like I have to. And I'm a big 70s kid anyway. Like I feel like I was born in the wrong era. And I was just like, I would have killed if I would have been born in the 70s. So let me show everyone that I would have killed. And Move was like this is me. This is my normal me track, like this is for my parents type track.
I love it. Did you see the Donna Summer documentary?
Yes.
At the end, I was like, just it was like, even now, like my eyes are watering up. That was
Cry.
great documentary, and the way that they had the daughters narrate, most of it was just amazing. But it gave so much insight.
I love when we can like actually pay good homage. Good homage to our influences. Like a lot of times they do these documentaries and
I know, it's a lot of fluff.
they be real shady. And I'm just like, this is not how we want to remember this person. That one, actually, I was in my bed with a box of tissues. So.
Yes, yes. That I watched it when I was in LA.
Mhm.
Both of my girlfriends out there had said they watched it, and at that particular night, one of my girlfriends had to go out and take care of something, so I watched it while she was gone. And I tell you, I was just like, I
Yeah.
didn't expect to be teary eyed.
Really?
Didn't until towards the end, and I did not know that she had passed away the way that she did. I don't want to spoil it for those who
Mhm.
have seen it, but I was like, yo, I'm a 70s baby. So I can relate to, she works hard for the money and all these other songs, but then,
Uh-huh.
you know, she really wanted to be so much more.
She did. And I hate that like we immediately classified her as like a sex symbol. Cause her voice, but I mean, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, she was.
right, right.
And was. But like her voice was so incredible.
Yeah.
And her artistry was incredible. I was like,
Yeah.
if there's any person I could model how I approach music after, just completely unchained, because she there was no limits on what she did what she wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
period. And so that's why I did move for the
Mm-hmm.
most part. I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do something that like maybe my generation is not gonna like. I don't care, I'm doing what I want to do.
Listen, they will love it. Let me tell you, that song fits a little bit of everywhere. Your
Mm-hmm.
demographic will appreciate that because everything goes around. Clothing, style, everything comes right. All the stuff
Right,
that people are wearing now, man,
right
we
back around.
that stuff back with combat boots and he was rocking, you know what I mean? So for me, when I see this type of stuff, I'm like, this ain't new.
Again,
But I
like,
the flare pants, all of
mm-hmm.
it. So yes, I see you not being boxed in. I see you doing your own thing. I see you really spreading your wings. Um, Even the fact that listening to your summation of or summation of Donna Summer's documentary tells me that you know what you're doing. You know, this ain't for play.
It's not. It's my love. Music is, and I'm not gonna say my passion because I have multiple passions. Music is my love. Like how I love music is how I want to love whoever my partner is in the future. Lord, if you listening, go ahead and send them because I'm
Yeah,
tired.
yeah, girl. Let me tell you something. This is what I'm gonna say. Whoever he sends you, you want him to send him or her, whichever your flavor is, at the right time.
True.
Because being a creative, a lot of people think they know what it's like to be with a creative, but they have no idea. They don't understand that you're going to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you have something in your mind and you need to write it down. They
Mm-hmm.
don't understand that you may spend 2 days in the studio back to back, barely any sleep because you have to get something out. So when you ask for it, just be very specific. You
Look, I already got a list. He knows.
you know. I'm preaching to the choir right now.
Mm, 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 mm. Mm.
Okay, I'm gonna go with one last song.
Uh-huh.
Well, two.
Okay.
Eden and Nolina.
Okay.
Okay. So Eden, that song definitely gave me biblical vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about it.
Eden. Ooh, where do I even begin?
Nothing comes free.
I so I've just recently reestablished my relationship with the Most High, and or the universe, whatever anyone else chooses to call their higher power. And Eden for me was kind of like a renewing of my mind in a way, and it was me acknowledging that like I know faith without works is dead. Like I know for a fact that you're gonna want sacrifice from me. Like that's just a given. And me doing Eden, it was me kind of like sealing and signing that contract with God. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm here to do the work. I'm here. Use me for whatever you have me to do, and I'm gonna do it without complaining.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yes.
And my reward would be Eden, eternity,
Mm-hmm.
paradise. So
Mm-hmm. And so as soon as I saw the title, and then
mm-hmm.
into the lyrics and nothing comes free, I thought about, Adam and Eve, and I thought about, right, the
Mhm.
forbidden fruit, and all this. So again, kudos to you for understanding who you are, right? Getting to know who you are, getting to relearn and unlearn things and
Mhm.
incorporate that in music. This is what songwriting to me is about: storytelling. You're
Mhm.
sharing that with folks. People from all walks of life can pick something from everything that you put out in your discography. And that's dope. That's like, because a lot of times you get a lot of same stuff throughout an album, an EP, or a
Mhm.
DVD, and it doesn't really change. Here, you're offering a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I appreciate that. It's refreshing.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, like keep on going. Keep
Thank
on
you.
going. Now we're gonna wrap it up with No Lena.
No, Lena, my newest baby. um, so very random. Once again, I heard the beat for Nolina, and I immediately went and grabbed like pen and paper, and the first two things I wrote was California Dreamin' and Hotel California.
Mm.
And the name of the beat I think was like Kill Bill. So I knew I wanted to do something that was like desert inspired. It also gave me very much Leon Bridges vibes, and I love paying homage to the people that inspire me. And so I was like, how do I relate this to me?
Mm.
And I sat, listened to the beat over and over and over, and then one of my favorite plants is called a nolina. It's a succulent, and it has like this really pretty white flower. It can survive in like the most driest of environments. And my name is Spring, and so I was like, why not tie everything into one song? Just
Mm.
why not? Say your entire journey in this song in in a clever way, like you normally do.
Mm-hmm.
And then not everybody's gonna get it. Nobody's gonna get it, but the people who plant plants are gonna know. So I, like you said, I make music for just about everyone. I but the main person I make music for is me. Sometimes I go back and listen to my music and I'm like, this is healing. This is healing for me.
Yeah. Yes, and that's important too. I don't think I hear that too often, where people are,
Mhm.
sort of um, just going back and delving in and saying, "Wow, I really like this for this reason," and what
Mhm.
the reason is.
Mhm.
Spring
Yeah.
the artist. Tell me about that. Spring the artist.
Spring the artist. So, I'm gonna give him kudos. Paris Toon of Mother's Favorite Child actually gave me the name Spring the Artist.
Mm.
It started as a joke because I refused to say that I was an artist. I was like, I'm not an artist. I'm not an artist. I'm a songwriter. I don't want to be in the limelight. I don't want to do any of that. And then he was like, well, what are we gonna call you? Spring the Artist? And immediately it was just like, yes, actually. Um, Once I actually just kind of like took the time to sit and think about the name, the first creator that I know of that I reverence is God. He's the first artist that I can think of.
Mm.
And my parents did an excellent job at naming me. I didn't like my name at first, hated it. But now that I'm an adult, I realize that like I live up to my name everywhere I go.
Mm.
I represent new life and new opportunities for people. I have a heart of service. And not only that, I'm an artist. I'm an artist in all art forms. I paint, sing, draw, write, everything. That's just the gift that God has given me. So Spring the Artist just it's a declaration. It's not even a title. It's who I am.
Mm. I love it. It for me when I hear it, without seeing your face, without you know, and this is literally I hadn't seen what you looked like.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of someone vibrant. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then as I listened to your music, I'm like, Spring the artist, almost like a flower child. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I guess in my head, I'm like, there's flowers in the hair, and there's, sort of eclectic things that remind you of a flower child. Um,
Hmm.
and so I love that, and that was definitely one of the things I wanted to ask you is how you came up with that name.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
where is Spring the Artist going from here?
From here, I'm just gonna constantly do what I've done, and that's follow my heart. Um, I don't necessarily subscribe to putting myself out into the industry, and God hasn't told me to move in that direction. So at this point, I'm putting out my music for healing purposes and for any ear that gets to hear my music. I hope it's healing for them. But for right now, I'm gonna be in my closet, my prayer closet, recording songs for 6 hours straight and dropping them the same day. That's
Listen,
literally what I'm gonna be doing.
whatever makes you feel good. I hope that, whatever happens, you don't
Mhm.
get lost um, in all this other crap
Yes.
that's out here because a lot of it has no staying power. Um,
Hmm.
it's not good for the soul. And I'm feeling like we need a resurgence um, in music, and I'm feeling like we need a healing. And it doesn't have to be preachy. It doesn't have to be. What you're doing to me is a perfect balance. You know,
Hmm.
you're gonna get the message or you're not.
Yeah.
You
That's really it. I don't like to shove God down people's throats. If I wanted to do, I mean, no offense to what I'm about to say, but if I wanted to do that,
right,
I would have went the gospel route.
right.
And the gospel route is just not me. That's not really how I grew up. I have, a few gospel. I mean, it is how I grew up.
I
I
know.
was I was forced to listen to Christian music the first half of my life,
Right.
and then I realized there was other music out there. So, um, with that being said, I'm me, and I'm learning to love being me, and a part of me is my faith. And so, if you don't want to listen to it, turn it off. Turn it off. That's all I gotta say.
I can't imagine somebody wanting to turn it off. I feel like this is, you know, whether it's outwardly in public or just kind of laying below the surface,
Hmm.
all of this stuff really feels good to me. And I think the people that rock with me will appreciate this. Once I putting out pieces and a collage that I'm thinking of doing and adding it to the things that I do on a daily basis. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. And you need to put some vinyl out so I can play it on my record player.
I've been thinking about it. I was like, my album art is way too dope to not have vinyls, even just for myself.
Yeah.
But yes, so thank you for the
I
confirmation.
buy it. I'm doing an unboxing this evening of some merchandise, and I was thinking about going to. I have some of my grandmother's 45s. I was thinking about going in there, and I was like, oh, maybe this would have been perfect. So I'm looking forward to it. As soon as it comes out, let me know. I will purchase in support of Spring.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Oh, I love the support. I want to give you your flowers. Let me just take
Oh,
a second and acknowledge the fact that there are people in the industry still that care about new artists, that don't want to change new artists, that want to speak life into us. Like that is such a refreshing thing. I remember when I first followed your page, I was like, wow.
thank
like what? And you're female. Majority of the time it's males and they have
you. Right.
ulterior motives. But to see a strong black woman representing for
Thank
strong black women and people alike, it warmed my heart. And that's why I said, I was like, look, whenever you can get me on the show. I
you.
don't care when. I will wait.
Appreciate that. Really do. And I do. I want to speak life into those who I really feel like get it.
Mhm.
Um, and even those who may not get it, I want to bring them along and say, listen, there's so many different things you can do. I'm nobody. I'm just somebody that has a little bit of history in the business, has a little bit of knowledge, has a good ear. Um, I want to help. So I appreciate you saying that. This has been the last 2 years. This is what I've been focused on top of another show, Weekly Rap Gods, that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And it just really that alone tells you how much I love all music,
Right.
and I'm open to just about everything from country to alternative to whatever, as long as it has that feeling. And
Right.
you have that feeling. And this is why I said I got to get you on. I know I was going, but I was like, no, 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 I gotta get her on. So,
Good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
yes,
It's nice. It's nice to be noticed. It's always nice to be noticed. No matter how much I want to be in the background, it's always nice to know that, like, wow, what I want my music to do, it's actually doing.
yes,
Because you exactly what you said, how my music gives you this specific feeling, it takes you to this specific place. That's what I'm thinking about while I'm recording, and I'm setting intentions and I'm putting them in my music. Recording at certain megahertz, I'd want everything to be peaceful. Peaceful. I like to tell people I create like cleaning music. I
yeah.
want you to put it on and be productive.
So
you know.
what's funny about that, and then
Mhm.
I want you to tell everybody where they can find your music.
Mhm.
Saturday cleaning list for Spotify, and I have a sort of smell the flowers cleaning list, and I have songs ready to go. A couple of them on one and a couple on the other, because you're right. There's to me there's healing in cleaning, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then there's music that makes you bounce while you're cleaning and healing. So
Exactly.
why not put it all together?
You know? Exactly. Do a little spring cleaning.
That's it. Tell everybody where they can find your music.
Alrighty. So, I am Spring the Artist on all available platforms. That's Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, YouTube Music, everything else.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you don't find me, let me know. Because there's an
Oh,
issue.
and I'm about to put a whole bunch of people on to you, so we're gonna work that out.
Thank you.
I just want to say again, thank you for taking the time. For those of you who just come and check me out on We Ear Hustling, baby, I appreciate you. I am Nubi the Ear Hustler. My guest tonight has been Spring the Artist. Dope, dope, dope. I'm gonna call her the music lover healer. She's bringing it to you like nobody else is bringing it to you. So please go ahead and check her out. I will see you guys soon. Have a wonderful evening. Peace.